Here we are open to week 1 of the class. You're going to see a little bit of reiteration from some things that I have in the Start Here menu. I really like to be thorough in the first week and make sure I'm covering all my bases with getting information out to you all. So if you haven't already, go into the Start Here menu and look at everything that I have there. And this first week really is just dedicated to getting familiar with the course. As you can tell from the syllabus already, we don't have any content this week. It's getting to know each other and getting familiar with everything that's in Play-Doh. And hopefully printing out your syllabus, getting your textbooks, and logging into Revel, as well as doing your bio as a way of confirming your enrollment in the course. Other than that, another thing that we have is the mandatory intro psych assessment. Every student taking intro to psych, whether they're a major or not, is required to take this mandatory assessment very early in the semester, kind of before we get into any serious content. So you all will have until September 18th to take the assessment. The sooner the better. If you don't take it, it's going to result in a 10-point deduction from your grade. So if you just skip on down here, I have instructions on this. There's a link that you click on the link to take the assessment. All it is gauging kind of what you already know about psychology. Okay, so maybe you've had psych in high school, or you've read things or heard things. We want to kind of gauge as a department where every student starts when you come into intro psych. So it has no bearing on your grade. How you do on this test does not matter in terms of your grade. We'll only be looking at the overall information of what students know. Okay, so you need to complete this. Failure to complete it will result in an incomplete grade at the end of the course. Or if you don't complete it by the 18th, you'll get a 10-point deduction. So that's like the key thing I want you doing this week. Aside from your bio, this is really the only quote-unquote assignment that you have. So get it done now. And then you don't have to worry about it. You're off the hook and it's done, okay? And then later in the semester, next week and the week after, you're not having to worry about doing this on top of your other work. Okay, so that's the assessment. You should also be checking out how to do a discussion board post. I'm going to go back down here for a minute. Because discussion posts will start next week. And I think I put that, oh yes, I have it in the Start Here menu. So if you click on back over, I've got that down in here, how to do discussion board post. Give yourself the chance to get familiar with this and read through the rubric so that you're ready to go for next week when we start these. But I've even done a podcast here for you that hopefully will help you in just navigating through how to do a post. All right, let's jump back into week 1. Lastly, what you're going to be doing is reading the preface, which is called Psych in Action, of the Cicerelli and White textbook. The Psych in Action preface has some really great information about how to best read for this class, how to study, some study skills, and so forth. And I've found that it does a world of good for students, especially students who are new to college. This is a great preface to read. So this week, focus in on reading that. And then you also want to read Appendix B of the Cicerelli and White textbook, which has some information in it about statistics that we'll be using over the course. And if this is more of a reference, you're not going to be tested on Appendix B, but it's more of a reference so that you'll kind of know what we'll be using in the class and how we'll be using it. So as we're reading through chapters, you're going to come across a lot of statistics. You're going to come across correlational data, all of which we talk more in depth about in Chapter 1, but this will help familiarize you to some of that. So I want to give you this week of where you have a lighter load and you don't have any content really to get familiar with Appendix B and the preface and be ready to go. And that should do it for this week. So again, everything's here. You know, if you get lost, just go back to the beginning. Otherwise, please just email me. Let me know if you have any questions as you're working your way through everything and getting familiar, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Have a great week, everybody.